and very interesting history topic. And the topic is making of regional culture. If you look at the heading or the title, the making of regional culture, it means if you look at the map of India, understood? We have a map like this, understood? Like this, and then this is how we have this. I've got this map. There are many regions in India, right? There are many regions. Clear? Am I right or not?
Yes.
Yeah, good. So there are many cultures spread all over India. Clear? There is a one culture in Goan culture, like UP culture, Bengali culture, Keralian culture, all these cultures. Understood? So he talks about the time when these cultures, emerged. Clear? And how? If you look at how a culture comes into existence, okay, you need to look at a particular period of history, like civilizational changes. If you look at the ancient India, understood, you see there existed different cultures, okay. But if you go to the primitive period of history, when people did not know anything about civilization, then people did not have a culture of their own. They used to go from one place to another as like the hunter gatherers, understood, like they migrated like the animals in Africa. Sometimes you have seen discovery channels. In discovery channels, what do they show? Migration of animals from one place to another. They go very fast, run very fast. Why? In search of food. It is because of the climate changes and because of the weather changes in weather, isn't it? So you know what happened? We people did the same, but during medieval period of history, what happened? During the medieval period, the concept of culture emerged. While it is only during medieval period people learned or created their own language, isn't it? During medieval age, what happened? People got together. If you, I don't know whether you have gone through a book written by, Jawaharlal Nehru, okay, and mm, like even the a book of letters from a father to his daughter, okay. The letters were written by Jawaharlal Nehru to his daughter Indira Gandhi, okay. If you read them all, you get the idea of how the changes, understood, uh, came, how the changes came, entered the society. Understood? He talked about how the primitive men lived, and he talked about how the people in the medieval age lived, and the people uh, started changing their lifestyles and everything. Understood? Underwent change due over the passage of time, over the ages, over different periods of history, isn't it? So now I have told you about different regions, and these regions have their cultures, and the chapter talks about the time when these uh, cultures of the regions, understood, formed, or he talks about the formation of the cultures in different regions of India, isn't it? Indian subcontinent. So I hope you have understood. Give me the duster. So just to start the chapter, I just introduced it, and I don't know whether you like the introduction or not, but the it is during medieval period the language emerged. Understood? Languages, people learn to use language. Okay, and language emerged, and with the emergence of language, understood, the culture, you know, uh, came into existence. Okay, and here there was a place called Chera. Chera Kingdom, Kerala. If you look at this place, here you can see Kerala. This is called, used to be called, there was some rulers, they were called Chera rulers. Okay. These rulers actually brought, they brought about change. They, a book, Leela Tilakam, understood, based on phonetics, clear, and poetics, understood, was written. In which language? In Mani Pralabham. Mani Pralabham. Leela Tilakam was written in Mani Pralabham. What was Mani Pralabham? It was a mixture of ancient Malayalam and Sanskrit language. What did Leela Tilakam say? It talked about poetics. Understood? Grammar and poetry as well. So this began to be used, this language began to be used, and the rulers, the Chera rulers, used to describe different things through the use of this language. Understood? Like inscriptions and different things were done. And now, from here, we can go to Orissa. Orissa, here Jagannath temple. Jagannath temple. Jagannath cult. Jagannath cult, what happened? This Jagannath cult, actually Lord Jagannath represents, understood, a form of God like Lord Vishnu, and love, it is a symbol of equality. During Rath Yatra, people from all walks of life participate, understood. What does it show? It shows that Lord Jagannath saw all, irrespective of caste, community, creed, religion, as equal. Understood? To Lord Jagannath, everybody is same. God doesn't discriminate, doesn't divide people based on caste, community, religion, or. Understood? This is why Lord Jagannath cult spread all over India. It crossed the boundaries of Odisha. And the kings in history patronized, supported. What? The culture, the language. Understood? The kings supported the Jagannath cult or religion because if they patronized religions or supported religions, it actually gave them the opportunity to strengthen their hold on the people, because ordinary people believed in religion. They are God fearing people. And those kings who supported temples, their beliefs, who didn't hurt their beliefs, they were respected and held in high esteem. Clear? Is there any problem? Fine. You understood? Okay. Now, I have talked about Lord Jagannath. Then come to this. There are some places in northern India. Understood? Northern part of India. What did you see? In northern part of India, northern India is famous. Why is it famous? It's because they actually, there are things that happen in northern parts of India, like miniature paintings. It is through miniature paintings people talked about different things of life, day-to-day events. They talked about how people behaved, the palaces of the kings, and the bravery. Understood? It talked about how brave a king was. Understood? Depicted the lifestyles, even the women's, especially Rani Padmavati of Rajasthan. How did we come to know? It is through miniature paintings we have come to know about the brave acts, understood, of different kings in history, and their, Rani Padmavati, and there are other women who did a great job in history, understood, and that's how culture, understood. It's also a part of culture. It also carried a tradition. Clear? Different traditions, people different practice, different it practiced religions. People practiced, had different traditions in different parts of India, isn't it? And they got depicted through these paintings, miniature paintings, especially in the northern parts of our country. Then through these paintings, we have come to learn so many things. We have come to know about stories, and the paintings told the stories. The miniature paintings actually carried, why do the people actually make paintings? Do you know? The people make paintings to talk about the feelings, understood, about certain things, some historical facts, isn't it? If there is a battle that happened, they through a painting of that particular thing, a battle, they can, a painting speaks, understood, like thousand things at a time. A painting, a good painting, it represent or it talks, it says things that a writer needs to write 100,000 books. Understood? What a painting can say, understood? Thousands books can't say. But all you need to understand is you need to understand the painting. You need to understand what message the painting wants to give us. Understood? That's how painting is very important, and through paintings, culture also spread. The culture, the regional culture of India spread. Understood? Now, we have very important things left to say. What is this? Kathak. Kathak. What is Kathak? It's Katha. Katha means Katha. Katha. Katha means story. Kathak is Kathak is a classical dance form. It's a classical dance form. Understood? It actually Kathak is the story told through the performance of a dance. You talk about the history of a place. Actually, at first, Kathak, understood, it was a temple dance. The dance performances that were given or that happened in front of the temples or inside the temples were called Kathak. First, the Kathak, through Kathak, people, through dance, Kathak dance, people talked about religious stories. Understood? The dance performance actually presented or told or gave information about religious, stories of Brahma, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Purana, and different cultures. We have come to know about religion first, stories of different religions. Understood? The message that gave the dance performance gave through a dance form called Kathak. Kathak talks about Katha, means story of people of a region, culture of a region, the tradition of a region, and the palaces, the kings, and their brave acts, understood, were shown through this dance form or through this dance performance. Is that clear? So, this is Kathak. Actually, first it became a dance of inside the temple. It was a dance form inside the temple. From inside the temple, it traveled to villages. Villages. Understood? It traveled from palaces, from temples. This dance form traveled to villages. From one village to another village. Understood? From one village to another all over India. Traveled dance, Kathak dance dances were performed inside the temple, and from inside the temple they traveled the villages, to villages, from one village to another, and the people who performed Kathak dance, they tried to adapt it to the taste of the people. Some people say, you dance like this, you dance on based on this song. And that's how they also made the demands of the people in the villages, in different villages all over the country. And finally, this Kathak dance reached the royal palaces. Royal palaces. Royal palaces of northern India. Northern India. Understood? Northern India. They reached the royal palaces of northern India. All the kings said, perform this dance. You perform this dance and talk about this story of King Padmavati. Padmavati, someone was called to perform dance in front of them based on the life of Rani Padmavati. And then they danced and performed well, and that is how the kings felt very, very happy. It was a life, it was a part of their entertainment. This is how the people used to entertain themselves. Today, we have watch TV for entertainment, Surfnet for entertainment, but in those days, people used to what? See the dance performance, and that is a part of our culture. It talked about how, but you know what happened? The traditions, culture changes with the over ages, over time, through the change of region. Today, Bengal, today's Bengal cannot remain the same. Everything is changing every day. So you cannot say what you have today, what is Bengal today, cannot be a different Bengal tomorrow. Maybe Bengal may grow in size. Today's Bengal cannot be as big as bigger than today's Bengal. Today we have a Bengal, means West Bengal, and tomorrow we may have one Bengal and that may be bigger in size, isn't it? So the time is changing. At the same time, different thing in history is changing. So culture also changes with the passage of time, even the tradition that we have. But culture of a place, understood, it is the language that actually gives birth to the culture. Clear? If the people of a place, like I'm telling you, like I have told you, the Chera in Kerala, understood, used a language called Manipravalam, understood, and that was a mixture of Sanskrit and ancient Tamil or ancient Malayalam, isn't it? That is why it is called Pravalam. Money means money Pravalam, and money means something very costly, valuable. Understood? Money, valuable. Money, Ratna, precious stone. Money Pravalam means a language that is as valuable as a gem, as a very precious thing. Is that clear? So I hope you have got the idea what are the things that were the a part of our culture. What language gave birth to our culture and our tradition, rich cultural heritage, isn't it? And miniature painting, clear, and even Jagannath cult, I have told you. And in Bengal, different temples were there. It means four-roofed temple, two-roofed temples we had. Besides our literature, the knowledge, the language gave birth to culture. Understood? Culture. We have culture today. Why do we have culture? It's only because we have a language to speak, and with language we created, like the Chera created through with the use of Mani Pravalam, they created a book that is called Leela Tilakam, isn't it? What was this book about? It was about phonetics, poetics, isn't it? So now what I want to tell you, and even the Chera kings also used to write so many things about so many subjects. Even the government, they used to use it as language of the government, isn't it? Regional government in Kerala. Understood? So, through language, we can create literature. We can create literature. And what is literature? Literature is part of our culture. I have told you how Kathak, a dance form, talked at length about the lifestyles of people, the culture that we lived in, and the people inside the palaces. It talked about the people living in the rural areas of our country. How the temple dance traveled from the temple to the villages, and villages it got performed, these Kathaks got performed to adapt the taste of the people, and this is how they reached the royal palaces in northern India. This is how the culture spread with the expansion, understood, of the region of a particular place. Over the ages, the region also changed, understood. Over time, the region changed, the culture changed, traditions changed. It's actually everything in the world is always changing. Today, today, this region cannot remain the same. It may be a different region, like Pakistan. It was a part of India. But now, what happened? A particular section based on of the society practicing a different language or practicing different religion demanded a part of India. Understood? And Pakistan was born. And the people in that part of India now are different. They practice a particular religion and they have separated themselves from us. So, how can you say today's India, yesterday's India, cannot change again into a stronger India tomorrow? Isn't it? We cannot say anything. So, with the changes of time, understood, the tradition, the culture, and everything changes. Got it? I hope you have understood. Is that clear? Have I been able to make you understand culture? So culture is can change. Even the tradition that we have may change. Clear? So different regions of our country have different cultures, different traditions, different languages. Understood? That's how the regional cultures got made, and we follow our tradition. We believe in our tradition. We believe in our cultures, and cultures are actually part and parcel of a nation. With this, I come to the end of this lecture. I hope you have understood the chapter, the making of regional cultures. Clear? If you and I have told you about Bengali literature. So I don't know whether I have told you or not, but the Mangal Kavya in Bengal, and Bengali language was evolved or originated from Sanskrit. Understood? And it gets spoken and Bengali is spoken in different parts of the world. Understood? In different even Bengali language gave birth to different literatures also. Understood? That the Bengali people or the people speaking Bengali are proud of. Is that clear? So, if you think that you have benefited from the class on making of the regional culture, you don't hesitate to give me a like. Bye. একজন ছিল